In the Vivekachudamani, Shankaracharya, up to the 99th verse, has explained the nature of gross body and subtle body. And now, in the 100th verse, he says that this subtle body is not the nature of our true nature, that is Atman. But this subtle body is just an instrument of the Atman for exhausting the karmas. He says, Sarva Vyaprati Karanam Lingamidam Syat Chidatmanah Pumsaha Vasyadikamiva Takshnastenaivatma Bhavati Asangoyam. Sarva, all the activities, Vyaprati, Sarva Vyaprati, all activities of the Atman. Whatever activities we do, for all these activities, this subtle body is a Karanam, is an instrument. Lingam idam, idam lingam, this subtle body, lingam, or this symbol or this subtle body is a Karanam, is an instrument for Sarva Vyaprati, for all kinds of activities. Whose activities? Activities of the Atman. Chidatmanah Pumsaha. And what is the nature of this Atman? What is the nature of this Atman? This Atman is of the nature of consciousness, Chit. And this Atman is of the nature of knowledge, absolute knowledge. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means that which exists always, existence absolute. It does not destroy, it always exists. That is Sat. And Chit is which is always conscious, absolutely, absolute conscious, consciousness absolute. Then Ananda, that which is full of bliss. Only bliss is there. Sat Chit Ananda. That is the nature of Atman. And this Atman is our true nature. Vasyadikamiva. Vasya means axe or chisel. Chisel of Takshna. Takshna means a carpenter. So a carpenter has a chisel and uses this chisel to give different shapes to wood, because that is the work of a carpenter. This chisel is compared here to the subtle body. We give shape to our lives, or we give shape to our activities using this subtle body. What is the subtle body consists of? Mainly it consists of mind, ego, etc. Ahankara, chitta, mana. So all our impressions of whatever we do is stored in this chitta, and that we exhaust those impressions, or we bring into fruition, bring into action those impressions using the mind. Without the mind, you cannot think, you cannot do anything. Just like the carpenter uses the tool of chisel to give shape to different kinds of shapes to wood. Similarly, we use, though our true nature is Atman, we use the subtle body, lingam, shariram, we use to give shape to different tendencies or sanskaras which is there in us. But tenaiva atma bhavati asangoyam. But though the Atman is using the subtle body to do so many activities, the Atman itself is unattached. Just like the chisel of a carpenter is being used, or the carpenter is using the chisel to give shape to wood, nothing is happening to the carpenter. Carpenter is just like earlier the carpenter was, afterwards also the carpenter will be of the same form. But the carpenter is using the instrument of chisel to give different shapes to that particular wood. Similarly, we are using this subtle body to give shape to different kinds of activities or different kinds of tendencies. What is the significance of this shloka? The significance is that when we practice, if we can convince ourselves that we are not the body or we are not the mind, then what will happen? Most of the times we are worried or we are carried away by the afflictions or the sufferings of our body and mind. So if we know that we are not the body, for example, if it is raining, then we do not say, oh, today it is rainy, or it is a rainy day and it's cloudy, so what will happen to me? We don't say like that. We say, okay, today the season is like this, the climate is like this, so we will take some precautions. When we go out, we will dress accordingly, etc. We don't overly get upset over that. But something happens to our body, we immediately get upset. Something has come over my body. If we were convinced that we were not the body, further, if we were convinced that we are not the mind, which forms part of the subtle body, then if somebody is telling us something bad, our mind gets hurt, we get hurt. So mind gets hurt, then we don't bother about it. We just keep quiet. Because it is the mind which has got hurt, it is the nature of the mind to get hurt, so let us not bother. That is the nature. In a different context, Holy Mother Sarada Devi, once somebody went to her and something was broken. And Sarada Devi, Holy Mother, said that don't worry. The person who broke it or because of whom it was broken got upset. Then she said, don't worry. This thing will get destroyed like this only. They will not get fever and get ill and then die. Ordinary objects get destroyed like this only. So don't worry. Don't be upset. If we know the nature of things, then we will not be upset. Similarly, if we know that the mind is not real, mind is material, and mind is not our true personality, then we will not get upset. The mind may get upset, but we will still be able to maintain equanimity. We will be able to be calm. We will be able to be peaceful. And that we have to practice. So that is what here Shankaracharya is saying, that though the subtle body is used by Atman to exhaust all the karmas, but still the Atman is not attached to the subtle body. Further he says, Andhatvam mandatva patutva dharmaha saugunya vaigunya vashadhi chakshushaha badirya mukatva mukhat tataiva shrotradi dharma natu veturatmanah. Again he gives the difference between Atman and the body. He says Andhatva, blindness. Blindness is a property of the body or of the eye. Then Mandatva, weakness, or Patutva, sharpness. Some people they have sharp eyes. Some people they have weak eyes. They have to wear spectacles. Some people they are blind. They cannot see. All these are dharmaha of chakshusha, of the eyes. They are all different kinds of properties or characteristics or conditions of the eye. How? Based on Saugunya, Vaigunya Vashadhi. Saugunya Vashad because of the fitness of the eye or good nature of the eye, Saugunya Vashad, or Vaigunya Vashad because of the defectiveness of the eye. If your eye is good, then you can see very clearly everything. You can see even distant things very clearly. If your eye is not good, you will be able to see things only with the help of a spectacle. And if your eye is very bad, eyes are very bad, then you will not be able to see even with the help of a spectacle. You may need a surgery, or worse still, even surgery may not help you. So you have to live with that because your eye vision will never become alright. So that is Andhatvam, blindness. Mandatvam means not sharp, weak eyes who need some kind of aid. Then Patutva means sharp eyes. Even people who can see, some people can see very sharply and they can also observe sharply. So all these depend on what? Chakshusha Saugunya Vaigunya Vashad. It depends on the condition of the eye, whether the eyes are working properly or not, whether they are defective or they have got lot of whether they are perfect or they are defective, whether they are fit or they are defective. Similarly, Badhirya, Mukatva, Mukhaha Tataiva. Dumbness. Badhirya is deafness. Mukatva is dumbness. And Mukhaha Tathaiva. And a person who is able to talk very well. So this deafness, Badhirya, Mukatva, dumbness, all these things are because of the defects of the ear or the mouth. So Badhirya is because there is some defect in hearing, defect in ear, you cannot hear. So you cannot hear. And Mukatva is because there is some defect in speaking, you cannot speak. So, but all these things are the defects of the gross body. All these things are the defects of the gross body. Shrotradi dharmaha natu veturatmanaha. But these are all the defects of Shrotradi dharmaha, of the ear and others. Others means in the case of a person who is dumb, it is the defect of the vocal cords maybe, or mouth maybe, or brain. But it is never Atmanah Vetu. It is never Vetur Atmanah, of the Atman. What is the Atman? The knower. What does the Atman know? Atman knows everything. So it is never the defect of the Atman. It is never the defect of your true personality, true self, but only of the external organs. External organs. So here again, what should we practice? Whenever there is a defect or illness or some kind of problem with our body, subtle or gross, mind or body, then what should we always think? We should remind ourselves that that is not our nature. That is not our nature. That is not our true personality. You are not your body. So when you think like that, then you get lot of power. You get lot of strength. When you know that you are not the body, even though you may be young or you may be a child, you may be old, even then your body will not come in between whatever you want to do, in the sense that you will have tremendous moral strength and also spiritual strength to do whatever you wish. Half the time we get exhausted. Why? Because of attachment. We don't need to get exhausted. We get exhausted because of attachment. Our body needs only so much rest, but we want more and more rest. Why? It is not our body which needs rest, but our mind which needs rest. And also because we think that we are the body and the mind, so we need lot of rest. So Shankaracharya tells here that we don't need to confuse ourselves with the body and mind, because body is different, mind is different, and our true personality is different. Then he goes on to explain prana. Uchvasa nishvasa vijrumbhana shut prasyandanat utkramanadikaha kriyaha pranadi karmani vadanti tadgyaha pranasya dharmavashana pipase. What are the different kinds of functions of prana? Prana means vital breath, or the breath which we have, vital energy inside us. If a if somebody stops breathing for some time, then that person will be out of breath after some time and then would want to breathe. So it is difficult to be without breathing, without air. What are the different functions of prana? Uchvasa, nishvasa, inhalation, and nishvasa, exhalation. We take in oxygen inside and give out carbon dioxide. So this uchvasa, nishvasa, this inhalation and exhalation. When a person becomes ill, this cycle of breathing reduces. When a person is healthy, this cycle of breathing is normal. When a person goes into a meditative state, this cycle of breathing becomes almost half. Uchvasa, nishvasa. And then vijrumbhana. Vijrumbhana means yawning. And then you have sneezing, and then you have this when the something leaves this body, some waste material leaves this body, that also needs prana. So a person who has some kind of nervous problem, neurological problem, cannot urinate or cannot defecate. Why? Because that much energy is not there, or that much energy is not properly distributed. So that also needs prana. And these are all kriyaha, pranani, karmani. All these are called to be, are known to be the karma or the activities of prana. Vadanti tatnyaha. People who are tat, it's nyaha, means experts or people who know about prana, they say that these are the functions of prana. And what are the dharma or the characteristics of prana? Shut pipasa. The characteristics of prana is ashana pipasa. Ashana means hunger, pipasa means thirst. That means prana or energy is necessary to inhale, exhale, etc., yawning, sneezing, secretion, etc. For that prana is necessary. Even when sweat comes out of this body, for that also prana is necessary. And how is prana maintained? By eating and drinking. If you do not eat or if you don't drink, if you don't take food for one day, or some people even if they don't take food for one meal, if they skip, they will become like this, tired. Or if one day you don't take food, then you will become like very tired. Your voice will become feeble and you will not be able to walk because you are so tired. Your prana has reduced. It's like fuel which we put in the vehicle. So your fuel has gone down. That is what. That is how it happens. So prana is sustained or maintained by hunger and thirst. Then Shankaracharya says, Antakaranam eteshu chakshuradishu varshmani ahamityabhimanena tishtati abhasa tejasa. The antakarana or the inner organ is, where does it stay? What is its seat? It is staying in the organs like chakshuhu, eyes. That means the inner organ, antakarana, mind, ego, etc., they are located in the organs such as eyes, and also in the body. Aham iti abhimanena tishtati abhasa tejasa. So what does this inner organ do, mind do? It has identified itself with the body. It has identified itself with the body, and it says aham iti abhimanena. It has this abhimana or thinking that I. So it is identified with the body. So whenever we say I, we mean this body. And it stays there because there is an abhasa tejasa. Just like if you keep a lamp and put something on that lamp. Suppose there is a torch or something, and you put something on that. From the sides of that object, the light will come. You can see the light from the side of the object. Whatever you have put on the lamp or the torch or your even mobile phone. If you just keep a book on your mobile phone, when the mobile phone is switched on, then you will see light will come. Sometimes people carry mobile phone in their pockets, and when they have put it on vibration mode, suddenly there will be light because that it is vibrating. And some people, they put it on vibration mode, it is worse than actual sound mode, because then it will be like that it will do, no? Just like it was doing some time back here. So then everybody will know that. So that kind of thing. So that Atman is there, and Atman's light is reflected through the mind. Through the mind, Atman's light is reflected. So on that light, the mind is staying, but we don't understand that, and we think that mind or this body is the Atman, or mind and body is our true personality. So we have confused, we have abhimana, we have identified ourselves with this body. There is a neuroscientist by name V.S. Ramachandran. He is a very famous neuroscientist. Long back he did an experiment. Interesting experiment. It is called the mirror experiment. Many neuroscientists have done that experiment. So they have made a mirror, and in between there will be a wall type thing, and a person who will stand here in front of the mirror. But actually the mirror will show the hand of the other person who is standing nearby. There is a small wall, and there some other person is standing. This mirror is showing the hand of arm of that other person, and the other person is seeing the arm of this person. And then what happens? They are asked to touch the arm, and when they touch their arm, it is not shown in the mirror. So they try it again and again and again, and finally they touch their arm, and then it is shown in the mirror. After a period of say 1 year or so, if they are asked to touch their arm, they will touch the other person's arm, even without the mirror. So our body, he and other neuroscientists have found this, that the whole idea of body being in one particular geographical location is a illusion, according to neurology. That is an illusion, because what happens when there is an accident, say an accident in which something happens very fast. So somebody is working in a factory and hand comes in the machine and the hand gets chopped off. So it happens so fast that the human brain cannot process this idea that my hand has gone away. So the patient, even after the accident, can feel one's fingers. There is no arm, but fingers can be felt. And they say, I am able to touch this, I am able to touch that, etc. That is called phantom limbs. Phantom limbs. Now that means there is no finger, but still because the idea of hand has not gone away from the brain, because the brain could not process it so fast, so the brain thinks there is finger. Similarly, the whole idea that this body is present in a particular location is completely an illusion. That is completely wrong. That is what these neuroscientists say. That is what Shankaracharya here is telling, that it is because of our ignorance that we have confused ourselves with this body. But this body is sustaining itself by the glory of the Atman. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.